A brief history of the garden path from 2023 to 2026. What you're going to see is there were several stages of getting this thing that we call the garden path ready. In this one, I'm trying to do that YouTube magic where you snap your fingers and you cut to the finished product, but I said I couldn't do that because I had my gloves on. There you go. So that was the initial spreading of a whole bunch of these chips. And as the graphic said, it was before we learned that they were horse chestnut, which is toxic to small animals. And that meant we had to isolate Charlie from having access to all of those chips. So that meant we had to put the weld-wire fence in to isolate Charlie from being able to get to those horse chestnut chips. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the completion of that initial spreading project. Now, flash forward 2 years later to August of 2025, and we've decided that we're going to start the process last year of getting this thing ready for seeding. And it occurred to me that one of the best ways to do that is to get out the old rototiller and see if I can manage to scratch it up a little bit, bury some of the wood, as well as trying to loosen up the soil a little bit to foster and promote the germination of the seeds and such. So what you're seeing is the video that was shot back at that time of trying to run the rototiller over that area. And this has been an interesting learning process along the way. It was supposed to be a temporary weld-wire fence. It wasn't supposed to be a permanent solution in any case. But along the way, we've learned a little bit about we're not going to be using the mulch anymore, and this is the first process here you're seeing of changing over from mulch back to grass. In fact, there are several other projects going on out in the backyard and in the front yard to replace the mulch with. Okay, well, I'm pretty pleased with that initial result. I don't want to futz with it too much. Well, is it done? No, probably not. But it's also loosened up in a nice general way that I should be able to rake it out. Or, better yet, I can cut loose Brenda with the tractor and the loader, because she is darn near a certified expert at grading with the loader bucket. She was pleasant enough to mow the lawn there for me before watering. Okay, the goal is to get a few loads of topsoil out here, or compost out here, just to supplement the dirt. And now we flash forward a year or so, April 2026. And I have borrowed a friend's gimbal, a little DJI Ronin gimbal, and I'm shooting this with the DSLR balanced on it, and I'm kind of, experimenting for the very first time with trying to shoot gimbal video. And well, I got so excited I forgot to check the focus and all that stuff. So what you're seeing is in fact going to be rather out of focus. And it's my humblest apologies. But the point of still adding that less than optimal video is that you do get a sense of the the amount of weeds that are there. There's a lot of weeds, and you'll see that they are given a great deal of time to mature and grow before I'm finally able to eradicate them. So let's see. I think that was the first take, and then I showed. This is about a week later. I have accomplished weeding what I call the top half, and that's basically up to the garden gate. Put that little yellow line in there to indicate where I stopped. And that stopping point was chosen because I knew I had a trip coming up to go help out my sister, getting ready to move up here. And in the ensuing couple of weeks or so that I wasn't able to get to the garden, the weeds grew like crazy. And you can see a little bit of growth indicated already on these video segments. So this is a look back in the past at the transformation process of this garden path. So now let's flash forward to a little bit more recent, beginning of this month. And we have weeded all the way down to, you can now see the really ginormous weeds there on both sides of the path. And we're getting ready to finally finish this off. So here we are, finally on May 22nd of this year. Okay, guys. Well, that's about the best I'm going to do for now. This was the last bit of the garden path that I had to finish off today. I've been working on this. This is Friday. I've been working on this since Tuesday to finally get the rest of the weeds out, which as I walk backwards here, basically started right about here on both sides. So anyway, let's take a quick peek at. Got strawberries going like crazy. Brenda's been planting peppers. She planted tomatoes yesterday. Some other stuff going on, but here's what the venerable garden path looks like. And in about 90 seconds, I'm going to go get the walk behind and give the whole thing a cut. Let's get in the shade here so it brightens up. There you go. And then the next goal will be to reposition a little bit of the weld-wire fence across this opening, thus thereby giving Charlie more lawn to run in. Down to where the fence, the end of the privacy screen appears. So at that white can, that's where we're going to put a new fence. So let's get mowing. Well, there you have it, folks. An experiment that started last fall, I believe, when we decided to just seed this thing. I'm not sure how much of it Brenda has overseeded. I know that there was an effort to do a little overseeding on what I call the top end. That's the direction we're walking in. And the grass is coming in really well. I'm very pleased with it. Yeah, looks really good. So now the plan will be to remove the weld wire fence that you see here. And you might be able to see just on the other side of the metal fence, there's there we go, landscape timber. Got about, I don't know, 30 feet of landscape timber there. And I'm going to remove that with the goal being eventually we'll have the pathway and the lawn at the same grade, which it is not today. So there you go, folks. Garden path 1.0 complete.